Okay, I want to talk about something because there are a lot of people who make up like this scenario where they wake up one day and the last 10 years were a dream, right? Like back to 2016 or 2013 or whatever. A lot of people choose 2013 as the better year instead. Whatever. But here's the thing. Like, I understand why, because times are rough now. I get that. But you actually think back on it, if you were actually to wake up one day and the last 10 years were a dream, would you actually be happy? I think at first you'd wake up and be relieved for a moment. You'd realize that now I get a chance, a do over. I can appreciate the years of my life that I took for granted and actually spend time with the people that I should be around and appreciate the people that I care about and enjoy the things that I once found such comfort in. Until you realize that you now have to deal with every problem that you had back then, every person you couldn't stand, every issue that came up in your life, and every ounce of progress that you've made over 10 years, every little effort was all for nothing. And not to mention that you're not just going to be able to breeze through everything in life now because you spent 10 years ahead of everyone else. No, 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 no. Because that was all a dream. Everything you did, every skill you gained, everything you learned was made up. In this scenario, this world that you're in was made up by your brain, which means you don't actually know jack shit. You know just as much as you did at the time you wake up. And a bunch of random stuff you just decided was fact in your sleep. So you're not gonna have, say you rewind back to when you're like in middle school or something, you're not gonna know like the in-depth sciences of the world. That shit was made up by your brain. In reality, it's gonna be much different because you did not have the knowledge to put all that together. So it's going to be just as difficult to get through everything. And you're going to have to do everything again, every strenuous effort to make progress in your life. You're going to have to do it all again. And it's not going to be easier this time because you have no prior knowledge. It's like you think you would. So, I ask you, would you really be happy? I think you guys need to learn to just appreciate things the way they are now. And especially in my case, because like I will admit, I I'm not a person who had like a rough childhood or anything. And don't get me wrong, I had it way too easy. But there are a lot of things that I'm free from now that I had to deal with back then that would suck to have to deal with again, especially now having an adult mind and a mind who has gained actual freedom and agency over myself. Being forced back into a time when I was reliant on others around me so much. Yeah, no thanks. But nonetheless, just appreciate what you have, right? I get that things felt better back then, or at least you think they did, because your mind paints it as a rosy picture, but it would hurt severely, way more than you think it would. Just be happy and try your best.